Snyder reports 3 major Social Security changes, more benefits and not less. Steve Ram, fam, listen up because pay increases to all, bigger checks for Social Security. Elon Musk promises Social Security pay increases for all. It's Jimmy goes live, pass via executive order, $5,000 2025 stimulus checks. Pass via executive order, $5,000 Trump's stimulus refund checks for millions of Americans. And veteran biker does the same and streams huge news. If you receive Social Security, do this now. And unless you're out planning on buying a $44 million Miami penthouse and a $5 million Bugatti in the same day like Andrew Tate, then it's probably worth you listening up to what's happening.
I can't do that. I can't do that, baby. That's impossible. In fact, no one can do that. Anyone watching right now, take confidential. You can't do that.
Everyone but you can do that.
No, they can't do that.
Andrew, this morning you were specking a new Bugatti, and now you're apartment shopping for penthouses.
Yeah, he's insane.
Not just penthouses, the best penthouses in Miami. Before the AG puts me in jail, I'm going to buy a $44 million penthouse. I'm going to go to jail. I'm in jail instead.
If you're in jail, can I stay in it?
No, we're all going. We're going to buy a $4 million penthouse. We're going to put a new Bugatti in it, and we're all going to go to jail for it.
He's a point.
All the latest in how it affects your money and changes that may come to your fixed income. I'm going to break it all down, sum it all up for you, and provide you with even more information in this video. And I just want to give you guys a warm welcome. Welcome back. Hope you guys are having a great day. Do me a favor. If you like the video, like the video. Now let's get started.
Does that help Tesla? I mean, you had Tim Walz, who's a huge jerk, running around on stage with the Tesla stock price where the stock price had gone in half, and he was overjoyed. What an evil thing to do! What a creep! What a jerk! Like who derives joy from that? And
now I quoted this X post or this tweet to my account yesterday, and it says, Tim Walz says, in response to Elon Musk, Elon, I'll make you a deal. I'll stop making fun of your stock when you take your hands off Social Security. For which my response was, says the man who doesn't even own any stocks. Let alone, how about Tim? Here's the deal. Elon will take his hands off Social Security as soon as you take your hands off underage boys. But better yet, let's stick to the topic at hand here. Let's talk about the money. Specifically, Social Security, Tesla stock, DOGE, Tim Walz and the Minnesota Pension Fund. Let's talk about all that.
I mean, you had Tim Walz, who's a huge jerk. What an evil thing to do. What a creep. What a jerk.
All right, everybody. We're going to dive into this spicy little exchange that's been lighting up X lately. Minnesota Governor Tim Walz taking a jab at Elon Musk and his role with DOGE, Department of Government Efficiency. Walz posted this on X saying, Elon, I'll make you a deal. I'll stop making fun of your stock when you take your hands off Social Security, which sounds like a snarky handshake offer, right? But here's the thing. This little quip is loaded with irony, hypocrisy, and some serious omissions that we need to unpack. So let's break it down and get to the truth, because there's a lot more going on here than a cheap shot at Tesla's stock. First off, let's tackle my biggest gripe. What does Tim Walz even mean when he says Elon's touching Social Security? The way he frames it, you'd think Elon's out there slashing grandma's retirement checks with a grin on his face, but that's not what's happening. Elon Musk, as part of DOGE under President Trump's administration, is focused on rooting out waste, fraud, and abuse in government programs, including Social Security. Think about that for just 1 second. This isn't about cutting benefits for hardworking retirees. It's about stopping scammers from siphoning off billions that should be going to people who've earned it. For example, Elon Musk has pointed out issues like payments going to dead people or duplicate Social Security numbers being exploited.
In fact, I believe someone is going to be arrested tomorrow. This is someone who actually stole 400,000 Social Security numbers and personal information from the Social Security database, and was selling Social Security numbers and and all the identification information in order for people to basically steal money from Social Security. And this is like, by the way, a particular avenue of fraud for like illegal immigrants and for voter fraud, because the main way that identification is established in the United States is via Social Security. So if you compromise the Social Security system, you can basically get people to get de facto registered to vote, even if they're not citizens, and to get a bunch of benefits and to milk the system. It's pretty insane. Like the Democrats basically taken every part of the government that could possibly be bent towards providing financial incentives for illegal immigrants to come to and remain in the United States, whether it's Social Security, disability, Medicare, unemployment, even like IRS refunds without any income. It's wild. The diverted FEMA funds, which is supposed to be for helping Americans in distress from natural disasters, to pay for luxury hotels in New York for illegals to stay there. In fact, they're still there. Those hotels are still active.
Stuff that's been documented as a real problem. The Social Security Administration's own Inspector General reported over $71 billion in improper payments from 2015 to 2022. And that's not peanuts, folks.
There was an Inspector General audit last year that showed over an 8-year period, the Social Security Administration made almost $72 billion in improper payments, a little less than 1% of payments in that time period. Now, the report also says that most of these improper payments were overpayments, not payments to deceased people or people who didn't qualify to receive these payments. At the same time, Jose, this effort by DOGE is to go through this agency like every other and try to weed out waste and fraud.
Yeah, I mean, and also $72 billion, and that's without a comprehensive search. I mean, that's significant.
I've been fighting fake news reporters all day long here in the Washington, D.C. swamp who are trying to fearmonger the American people into believing that this administration is going after their hard-earned tax dollars and their hard-earned Social Security checks.
Well, you know, Elon Musk says all sorts of different things, but what sticks out for me is when he said that Social Security was the biggest Ponzi scheme, and when he said this is the big one that needs to be eliminated. And sure enough, they're going in and firing people willy-nilly. And
so I want to set the record straight on your show tonight, Sean, and I'm very grateful for the opportunity to do so. President Trump has directed Elon Musk and the DOGE team to identify fraud at the Social Security Administration.
Did y'all see that information that come out in the DOGE findings when they were looking for fraud at the Social Security Administration? Yeah, they're reporting that 2.1 million non-citizens obtained a Social Security number in 2024. And back in 2021, it was only 270,000, which it shouldn't even be that. They're not citizens. But I saw some reporting on this a few months back of some whistleblowers saying that they worked at the Social Security Administration and that they knew this was happening. They were being told to push them through. But that's our money that these people are now being able to get because they're getting Social Security numbers, and they shouldn't be. Yeah. So I hope DOGE continues to look for this stuff and finds it, and I hope they track them down and take it all away from them. Just my opinion anyway. What do y'all think about it?
They haven't dug into the books yet, but they suspect that there are tens of millions of deceased people who are receiving fraudulent Social Security payments. And so their goal in going into the Social Security Administration is to identify three things. Number one, to identify duplicate payments and to end them. Number two, to identify payments that are going to deceased people who are no longer living and should no longer be receiving that money. And number three, to protect the integrity of this system for hardworking Americans who have been paying into it their entire lives. So rest assured to all of the people watching your show tonight, if you paid into the system, honestly, you will continue to receive your Social Security checks. Do not buy into the lies from the legacy fake news media who are trying to fear you and scare you into believing otherwise. This is what we've seen them do about President Trump for years with every promise that he has made. And he's going in there to protect your hard-earned money. That is the ultimate goal.
And so why is Tim Walz acting like cleaning up this mess is a bad thing? The same man who says we should have a shadow government. The left keeps dodging that part of the story, and it's a huge red flag.
Saves the system, cutting them. They have not cut benefits for anyone. But where are the facts from these protesters? Shame on anyone promoting these protesters, and shame on the liberal media for suggesting Elon Musk was doing a Nazi hand signal when he was not. You have demonized this man, and the outgrowth of that has been violence.
Yeah, but you know that liberals often like to compare everything to slavery and the Holocaust.
Of course
I mean,
they do.
as if those...
And if you're against fixing fraud, then what's your deal, bro? Number two, now let's move on to my second gripe here. The sheer hypocrisy of Tim Walz mocking Elon Musk over Tesla's stock. During the 2024 campaign trail, Tim Walz played his everyman card, saying he doesn't own any stocks or investments, trying to make JD Vance look like some sort of bad guy because he graduated from a good college and even started a few of his own businesses, trying to paint himself as some relatable guy who's not tangled up in Wall Street. Okay, fair enough. But then he turns around and takes pot shots at Elon Musk, a guy who's not just an investor, but the CEO of Tesla, a publicly traded company that employs thousands and drives innovation. Tim Walz acts like it's some moral failing that Tesla's stock price fluctuates, as if Elon's personally responsible for every dip. Newsflash, buddy. That's how stock markets work. Stocks go up, stocks go down, especially when you're pushing the envelope like Tesla does with electric vehicles and tech. But here's Tim Walz giggling on stage about Tesla stock dropping to 225, saying it gives him a little boost. Really, Tim? You're dunking on a guy for building something real while you're out here with no skin in the game? That's a bold move. And here's where it gets real juicy, folks. Tim Walz, his own state is tied up in this mess that he's mocking publicly. Minnesota's state retirement pension fund owns over 1.6 million shares of Tesla stock, valued at hundreds of millions of dollars as of mid last year. And yeah, that's right. When Tesla stock takes a hit, it's not just Elon feeling the pinch. It's Minnesota's teachers, firefighters, and public workers whose retirement funds are on the line. Shark Tank investor Mr. Wonderful Kevin O'Leary called Tim Walz out on this, saying it's beyond stupid to cheer for a stock crash when your own constituents' pensions are invested in it. Imagine being a Minnesota retiree, hearing your governor laugh about tanking the very fund that's supposed to support you. Tim Walz later tried to backtrack, saying it was just a joke and that Elon bugs him, but that doesn't erase the fact that he's rooting against his own people's financial security. How do you square that circle? So what we should do now is connect these dots. Tim Walz doesn't like Elon Musk. That's fine. That's his prerogative. I don't like Tim Walz. And I would imagine that Elon Musk doesn't like him either. But now that I think about it, I don't even think Tim Walz's own son likes Tim Walz, but that's a topic for another video. But this isn't just personal beef. Elon's work with DOGE threatens to expose and dismantle inefficiencies that some politicians might not want fixed, because waste and fraud can be a goldmine for the connected few. Meanwhile, Tim Walz is out here flexing like he's above it all, mocking Tesla while ignoring how it ties back to his own state. It's a classic case of talking out of both sides of your mouth. Act like a populist hero, but don't mention how your state's tangled up in the same system that you're bashing. And the left's silence on the whole fraud cleanup? Sickening. But it's telling. If they really cared about protecting Social Security, they'd be cheering Elon Musk on for saving it from scammers, not painting him as the bad guy, not promoting violence against Tesla or even himself after having received 17,000 death threats, even having mentioned that he was going to be on stage in Wisconsin.
Just to put this into perspective, that's how important I think it is. I had 17,000 death threats. Okay, when I said I was going to go talk in Wisconsin, I got 17,000 death threats, not a few, 17,000 about going to talk in Wisconsin, in Green Bay. I still went. So, yeah. Please do this.
But here's the bottom line, folks. Tim Walz's little X post isn't just a jab at Elon. It's a window into a bigger game. Elon's not touching Social Security to hurt it. He's trying to save it from bleeding out. And Tim Walz mocking Tesla stock isn't just petty. It's hypocritical and short-sighted, especially when his own state's pension fund is in the mix. But what do you guys think? Is Tim Walz just clueless, or is there something deeper at play?
Well, Elon Musk says all sorts of different things, but what sticks out for me is when he said that Social Security was the biggest Ponzi scheme, and when he said this is the big one that needs to be eliminated.
Social Security is the biggest Ponzi scheme of all time.
Right, explain that.
Oh, so, people pay into Social Security, and the money goes out of Social Security immediately, but the obligation for Social Security is your entire retirement career. So you're paying with you're paying like if you look at the future obligations of Social Security, it far exceeds the tax revenue. Far. Have you ever looked at the debt clock?
Yes.
Okay. There's our present day debt, but then there's our future obligations. So when you look at the future obligations of Social Security, the actual national debt is like double what people think it is because of the future obligations. So basically people are living way longer than expected. And there are fewer babies being born. So you have more people who are retired and that live for a long time and get retirement payments. So the future obligations. So however bad the financial situation is right now for the federal government, it will be much worse in the future. At the risk of being a buzzkill here.
Did you see...
So we better fix what we got right now, because if it's bad now, it's going to be much worse in the future.
And creating so much chaos and havoc in this system that is causing so much anxiety for my constituents and people all over the country. And, I will tell you, I could see my Republican colleagues on the Finance Committee this week as we were hearing the nominee for Social Security Administration reflecting back the anxiety that they're getting from their constituents. But at the same time, are they willing to do anything to stop this? Apparently not.
I actually don't have any questions for you today. I can see the handwriting on the wall here, and I've heard your responses to the questions so far. This is a travesty, and we can see what's going on here, and Minnesotans can see it as well. This is a wholesale effort to dismantle Social Security from the inside out. And this is not about rooting out waste and fraud and abuse.
And I would just like to present this one rhetorical question, and it's, when has Elon Musk ever not done what he said he was going to do? Now, granted, the media is trying to paint this picture that there's no proof behind the fraud and abuse that Elon Musk has found and the money that's being saved. But we can think back on let's just say 2 instances here recently, or maybe even 3. The fact that 1, he decided to leave the Democratic Party and help President Trump win the election. That's number 1. But let's just say 2 and 3 would be when Elon Musk said he was going to make the Cybertruck. I don't think Elon Musk knew how he was going to make the Cybertruck, but he said he was going to do it, and he did it. Now, granted, it was a little bit delayed, but it still happened. Let's just say 2.5. He said he was going to make the Tesla semi-truck and a battery-powered semi-truck, and he did. It just took a little bit longer to get through the ins and outs of manufacturing and this innovative technology that he's leading the charge with. No pun intended. So he's done that. Okay. So literally everything. Now we're still waiting on the Tesla Roadster 0 to 60 in like 1.7 seconds, which is insane. But I would imagine it's coming. So just because Elon Musk is sitting here telling you, saying that he's finding this waste, fraud, and abuse, and more money is coming back to Social Security recipients, but he hasn't necessarily given you all the details, like every single spreadsheet that they're working on, I would still trust that it's happening and that it will happen as he said it would. Okay. And it's all for a good purpose. Why are folks like Tim Walz, the Democrats, the left, the mainstream media trying to prevent such a good thing? Where if you really want to get to the bottom of it, if you want to provide proof, well, provide proof that Elon Musk has his hands on touching Social Security in a negative way that will ultimately negatively impact recipients. Okay, sure. There's a one instance of a guy who was mistakenly considered dead and he had to prove that he wasn't. Okay, that's one out of how many tens of millions, like 70 something million people? And really, if you think about it, how many times has that happened before Elon Musk even got involved? And while we're on the topic of transparency and being fair and honest in these discussions, how about this one? The opposite happening, and 60 Minutes reports how Social Security mistakenly, accidentally paid a couple over $51,000. Guess when that happened? November 2023. Guess who wasn't president? Trump. Guess what didn't exist, or at least not in the way that it does now? Department of Government Efficiency and Elon Musk at the helm. Yeah, the media doesn't talk about that. They don't want to talk about that, okay? And number 3 is Elon Musk said he would rescue the astronauts from outer space, and by God, did he.
What would you like to say to President Trump and Elon Musk? I respect you. I trust you. You've given me no reason not to trust you, either one of them. What they say, I can't say what they say. I haven't lived that. But I have no reason not to believe anything they say because they've earned my trust. And for that, I am grateful that our national leaders actually are coming in and taking part in our human spaceflight program, which we see is hugely important global significance. And they take an active role. And based on the past and what we see now, with them doing that, it's refreshing. Not just refreshing, it's empowering. It's strengthening for our nation. I think it's a good thing for our nation when the national leaders, especially something that's high visibility, are involved in the process. And I'm grateful for that.
And I'm just glad that they're involved and they take notice. And our situation, I think I've mentioned before, maybe wasn't the perfect situation, but allowed a lot of people, including the president and Elon, to look at what's going on the International Space Station, take it very seriously, and understand that our involvement as a country, as a spacefaring nation, is really important throughout the world. And it sets an example, and it shows, our ability to be able to do the hard things, put people in space, operate in space, work in space, and then bring us back. It's important, and I appreciate that them and many more people.
Okay. Now, if the man can go and grab 2 people from outer space, I think he can figure out how to make Social Security more efficient. And then we see Tim Walz here, who obviously has his priorities in order, making this statement.
They can send out any damn executive order they want from Washington, D.C., because in the state of Minnesota, it's my privilege to make sure that I therefore declare Monday, March 31st, 2025, as Transgender Day of Visibility across the state of Minnesota.
I'm sorry, guys. I don't know if I'm supposed to get this fired up about this, but it really pisses me off. The way that they operate, the way that they behave, the lies and the games and the bullshit that they try to play, especially with people and their money, especially with their retirement and something so fragile and relied on as the fixed income source of Social Security. Sorry. It's just, I'm really, just, it really pisses me off. Now I just want to know why he lies so much. To the point of which, posting this, Governor Tim Walz says, happy opening day, Minnesota, 162-0. But the fact of the matter is that Minnesota Twins record to start the season is 0-4. What the
2.1 million. 2.1 million non-citizens were given Social Security numbers in 2024. 2.1 million. If that doesn't grind your gears, you are a part of the problem.
Let me know your thoughts and opinions in the comment section. hit that like button. Really would appreciate it. And if you want more of these breakdowns like these, then let YouTube and everybody know. Like that like button up and subscribe. Turn on notifications, and we will keep digging into this truth together. And everybody, as promised, thank you for sticking with me through this update. Now, here's the summary to wrap everything up that I told you guys about at the beginning. Big changes are hitting Social Security in 2025, and this is essentially what I've collected and gathered from all those videos to save you guys some time. I know there's a lot of information out there, a lot of misleading headlines, a lot of clickbait, but I just want to simplify it and just get straight to the point. President Trump's order is phasing out paper checks by September 30th, pushing nearly 500,000 people to switch to direct deposit or digital options to keep those monthly payments coming. And I don't think a lot of people are really getting paper checks anymore as it was. So this is probably just a complete fake, like even how Trump says he's done making pennies, okay? And this is going to end up saving taxpayers millions of dollars in the process because it doesn't cost much to send money electronically. Meanwhile, there's buzz about delays in benefits due to staffing cuts at the Social Security Administration, with some warning that checks could lag by months if glitches aren't fixed. I doubt it. But there's the good news, or here's good news. Elon Musk and the Department of Government Efficiency, or DOGE, are stepping in, vowing to root out fraud, waste, and abuse. Elon Musk says that this will mean more money in your pockets, not less, with legit recipients seeing bigger checks once the cleanup's done.
This is great news for anybody receiving a check from Social Security. Elon Musk just did a town hall where he said the work that DOGE is doing is going to make it so that legitimate Social Security recipients are going to receive more money, not less. Watch this.
No, in fact, what we're doing will help their benefits. Legitimate people, as a result of the work of DOGE, will receive more Social Security, not less. I want to emphasize that. As a result of the work of DOGE, legitimate recipients of Social Security will receive more money, not less money. All right. I want to emphasize that point and let the record show that I said this, and it will be proven out to be true.
It's interesting to hear that because if you were to read the headlines lately, you would think the opposite. And for quite a while now, they have been saying that Trump was going to take away Social Security benefits. Now, according to DOGE and Elon Musk, recipients should be receiving more money. So, what do you think of this news? As always, I want to hear what you think about all of this down below.
And they've already uncovered some wild and crazy stuff like millions of accounts tied to people over 120 years old or illegal immigrants raking in benefits. DOGE claims that they're saving billions daily and strengthening Social Security for the long haul. So there's lots to unpack here, folks, and I'm going to keep breaking it down for you right here. And I tell you what, if you like the video, and smash that like button. It really helps us to fight this dreaded YouTube algorithm and reach more people like you. And hey, also for even more updates from Michelle and me, join Patreon. There's a link down below in the description, and it's free to sign up if you'd like. If you want to help support with a paid tier, we really do appreciate it. And you'll get automatic email alerts whenever we drop new info. Stick with us, folks, as we keep you in the loop, ahead of the curve, in the game, on all things Social Security and beyond. Thank you for watching, and I hope to see you guys on the next one.